On a misty morning along the quiet banks of the Havel River, the Glienicke Bridge stood like a steel thread stitching together two worlds that refused to meet. To the casual observer, it was just a bridge linking Potsdam to Berlin. But beneath its cold metal frame, it carried the weight of suspicion, secrets, and silent confrontations. In the aftermath of World War II, Germany had been carved into zones, and Berlin became a fractured city where ideologies clashed daily without a single shot fired. The West stood for democracy, the East for communism, and between them stretched an invisible line of distrust. Intelligence agencies thrived in this tension-filled atmosphere. The Central Intelligence Agency, KGB, MI6, and Stasi all moved quietly through Berlin's streets, turning ordinary people into informants and friends into suspects. The bridge, slightly removed from the city's chaos, became the perfect stage for exchanges too sensitive for public eyes. It was isolated yet accessible, silent yet heavy with consequence. Here, prisoners were not just people, they were leverage, symbols, and messages wrapped in human form. Every step taken on that steel pathway echoed with unspoken tension. Guards stood rigid, eyes forward, while the river below flowed as if unaware of the secrets hovering above. The bridge became more than a location. It became a ritual space where enemies, bound by rivalry, were forced into moments of reluctant cooperation. The world truly took notice on a freezing day in February 1962, when the bridge transformed from a shadowy crossing into an international symbol. On one side stood Francis Gary Powers, a man whose fate had been sealed when his spy plane fell from the sky over Soviet territory. On the other side waited Rudolf Abel, a master spy who had lived quietly in New York until his arrest exposed a hidden life of espionage. Their exchange was simple in design, yet immense in meaning. No speeches were made, no hands were shaken. Powers walked west. Abel walked east. Between them lay years of tension, interrogation, and political maneuvering. The moment was almost mechanical, as if rehearsed countless times, yet it carried the emotional weight of two superpowers measuring each other's resolve. Cameras captured the crossing, freezing it in history, but no photograph could fully capture the silence that defined it. For Powers, it was a return to freedom shadowed by scrutiny. For Abel, it was a homecoming wrapped in secrecy. This exchange marked the beginning of the bridge's reputation as the Bridge of Spies, a place where human lives became currency in a larger geopolitical game. It revealed a strange truth about the Cold War. Even in deep hostility, there was space for negotiation. The bridge became proof that while nations could clash endlessly, they still recognized the value of reclaiming their own. As the years passed, the Glienicke Bridge witnessed more crossings, each one carrying its own story of betrayal, loyalty, and survival. By 1985, the tension reached a dramatic peak during the largest exchange ever conducted there. 23 Western agents were traded for 4 Eastern operatives, including Karl Kocher, whose infiltration into Western intelligence had sent shockwaves through the Central Intelligence Agency. The scale of the exchange was staggering, a reminder of how deeply espionage had penetrated both sides. Yet it was not only spies who walked that bridge. In 1986, Natan Sharansky crossed into freedom, his release symbolizing something greater than intelligence politics. He was not just a prisoner. He was a voice, a symbol of resistance against oppression. Each exchange followed a similar choreography: guarded escorts, silent movements, and the quiet acknowledgement of an unspoken agreement. For those crossing, the moment was deeply personal. Some returned as heroes, celebrated for their endurance. Others came back under suspicion, their loyalty questioned. All carried invisible scars from years of confinement and interrogation. The bridge did not judge them, it simply bore witness. It stood firm as lives changed direction in a matter of steps, as identities were reshaped by the politics of two competing worlds. Then, almost as suddenly as its purpose had emerged, it faded. The fall of the Berlin Wall signaled the beginning of the end for the Cold War, and with it, the need for secret exchanges dissolved. The Soviet Union itself would soon collapse, bringing an era of suspicion and rivalry to a close. Today, the Glienicke Bridge stands quiet and open, no longer guarded by armed soldiers or cloaked in secrecy. Tourists stroll across it, often unaware that they are walking through a place where history once held its breath. Small plaques and exhibitions tell fragments of its past, but the true weight of its story lingers in the silence. It is no longer a frontier, but a reminder, a symbol of a time when the world was divided not just by borders, but by belief. The bridge represents a paradox that defined the Cold War. Enemies locked in relentless rivalry, yet capable of negotiation when human lives were at stake. Its legacy lives on in stories, books, and films like Bridge of Spies, but its true power lies beyond dramatization. It stands as a quiet witness to resilience, compromise, and the fragile threads that hold humanity together even in times of deep conflict.